Hey, Latasha.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, so as we continue to let people in, first of all, thank y'all very much for joining. A couple of quick little things. One, if you are able to actually show your video, that would be really awesome, so we can actually see that we're talking to people and it's not just a bunch of like little black boxes. So thank y'all. And then also another thing, when you ask questions, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question instead of typing it in the chat, it's really hard for us to kind of keep up with all of the questions that are constantly coming through chat, and we don't want to miss anybody. So first of all, my name's Kim Eaton. I'm the Communication and Events Director for the Graduate School. I'm so excited. All of you, hopefully you're graduating this semester. We're so excited for you. And so this is just something we're gonna, started doing these Q&As last semester. And basically it's just to give you an opportunity to ask questions. So we have a couple little things that we'll go over. We first have Jasmine Jean and Danielle Minyard are with the Graduate School, and then Latasha Harris is with the School of Nursing. And so Jasmine's going to briefly go over like the application for degree process. Danielle will talk about paperwork for your thesis, dissertation, and then Latasha will talk specifically to School of Nursing students because their process is a little bit different from everybody else. So if you're a School of Nursing student, don't leave because she will focus on all of you at the end. And then I'm going to very quickly just go over some of the general commencement ceremony pieces that we have to date, like right now. We'll have more of that in the coming weeks. That hasn't really been finalized just yet, but I'll give you what I know right now. So we'll go ahead and get started with Jasmine.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Kim stated, I am Jasmine Jean, and I work in the graduate school as the Educational Services Coordinator. And so one of the things that I do oversee is the application for degree process. So today we will go over that and what that will look like for you as a prospective fall 22 grad. So first, congratulations on getting to this point. But when we're talking about this process, we're going to talk about what you need to do on your end to ensure that everything flows smoothly for you. And then we'll go from there with questions. So the first thing that needs to be done if you think that you're graduating is that you would need to first talk with your program. And then after you all have had that discussion, you would want to submit an application for a degree. This application for a degree can be submitted in BlazerNet. So you would just log into your student portal using your Blazer ID and password. And then once you're on your home page, right above your picture, kind of to the top left on that green banner, you will see a button that says links/forms. If you click on that, to the right-hand side of the new page that loads, you will see the graduate application for degree/certificate. This is required for all students who plan to graduate. This is the only way that we are notified of the potential graduates as well. And it is needed for all type of graduate degrees. So a certificate, master's degree, and or a PhD. And so once you get there, you will fill out your kind of demographic information, how you want your name printed on your diploma, the mailing address for your diploma, and so forth. You'll select the curriculums that you plan to complete for that particular term, in this case, the fall, and then you'll just answer some other questions on there as well. Once you have submitted that particular application, you will receive a confirmation email. It's automated. It'll come directly to your UAB email after you have submitted. If you do not receive a confirmation email, that means that your application has not been submitted. So you do want to make sure that you go back, make sure that you complete the application, submit it, and that you get that confirmation email. The other thing that will occur after submission is a fee will be posted to your account. We have two different fees, and it depends on what you're applying for. But if you are applying for a certificate, there's a $20 fee associated with certificates. If you are applying for a master's or doctoral degree, there is a $60 fee associated with that particular curriculum. So again, it will post to your account based on what you're applying for. So in general, $60 is the most common. But again, if you're applying for a certificate, it will be $20. Other things to note about the application. One, the main thing is that the deadline is August 29th. That is next Monday. And so you want to make sure that you have your application for degree in by that particular day. The reason this is because that is a hard deadline and applications will not be accepted after the 29th of August. The 29th of August is also the last day to add and drop. So if you remember that, it's the last day for you to make schedule changes, and it's also the last day for you to submit your application for a degree. We must have that on file so that your program can first audit your application, your GPS, which is the graduation planning system. And then after they've done their work, it will come to me for final auditing, just to make sure that you're in compliance with all of the graduate school policies, and for me to do some other things to get ready for degree awarding that will come at the end of the term. Students have asked about timeline as far as when will their applications for degree be approved, because they've already applied. It's an extensive process for me on my end. So I'm the only person that audits these. So it takes me a great deal of time. But in the event that something is wrong with your application, I will communicate that to your program. And then if they need to communicate something to you, then they will. So again, the main thing is just making sure that you have the application submitted, you have the confirmation email, and that you've paid the fee. So moving on. After that, as far as auditing, when we get to the end of the term, I will also award all of the graduate degrees. So again, it's only me. So I just keep stating that so that, you know, I don't want to give like false hope or expectation that it'll be a quick turnaround. But once grades are released, there's about, I give myself 2 weeks to get all degrees posted. As like I said, it's an extensive process. And then once all degrees are posted, diplomas are then ordered. So you can always expect your diploma 6 to 8 weeks after grades are posted. Grades are not posted at commencement. They come after that. So we have to allow that time, and then also the time for me to get everything posted and awarded. I don't think I've left anything out. Oh, graduation planning system. Please make sure that you do look over that. When you go in BlazerNet, if you look to the right-hand side, you'll see a tab over there that says GPS. The goal is for you to be green and blue when you apply, okay? It doesn't always occur, but in the event that you do see something red in your GPS, meaning like a requirement is not met or something is missing, please contact your program advisor, manager, or director, whomever you communicate with about your coursework, so that they can review your GPS, and they may need to enter an exception into that GPS. There's no need to contact me, but if you contact them and let them know, hey, I noticed my GPS is not clear, it's saying this is incomplete, but I did X, Y, and Z to fulfill that requirement, that would be great. And then that way we can handle those things fairly early in the game, and get you all moved forward and approved to graduate. Are there any questions for me? And you can unmute yourselves to ask your questions if you don't mind.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Is someone speaking?
Yes.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So I just had the question, if you don't mind, can you just repeat the GPS part? Like so I have already applied for the graduation stuff, and the fee has been posted, and I've already paid it. So do I have to be concerned about the GPS part right now, or is it after I get done with my semester?
No,
I
you
just
can look
need-
at it now. So
Okay.
if you look at it, if you're in BlazerNet, look to the right-hand side, you'll see GPS. If you click
Yes.
on that, it'll bring up your audit. If yours at the top says in progress in blue, you're good to go.
Okay.
If you see incomplete, then
Mhm.
you'll scroll down and you'll see what's showing incomplete, and then you'll just contact your program about that.
Okay, okay, I got it. So yeah, it's with the GPS, right? Okay.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm in BlazerNet right now. Where is the GPS
The
again?
Yes, the GPS is to the right-hand side if you're on your BlazerNet homepage.
Okay,
So
let me
you'll
go
see a
home.
tab over
Okay.
to the right-hand side. And this is for, let me be a little bit more specific. If you are a certificate student, a master's student, well, if you're non-MSN DNP, I don't know if nursing uses the same platform. So let me say that just in case if anyone is associated with those programs.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm
sorry, I'm a doctoral student and you said on the right-hand side, I'm in the home page, maybe.
Yes.
Are you on your student
Okay,
version?
and
The student side?
I had to switch. I
Okay.
had to switch. And sorry, I have one other question, and maybe you can or cannot answer this, but there is a hold on my account for something that says future hold. I don't know what that means.
So that was one thing I did forget to cover. So if you have applied for your degree, a future hold will be placed on your account. It's not active, meaning that it's
Okay.
not preventing registration or anything like that. This is for everyone that applies for a degree. That hold just simply means that in order to register for the spring 23 term, you would have to reapply to the institution, be accepted, and then you can be allowed to register for classes. So it's nothing to be alarmed by. I had that same hold upon graduation, so you're good.
Hey, Jasmine, this is Paige. I have a question.
Yes.
You already sent me an email back stating everything was approved. Do I not need to do anything else after that? That's it?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
also, yeah, so I'm Riddhi and I just opened the GPS page and it says that degree progress and it is like the overall GPA is mentioned. And then there are like different areas, but in two of them, it says incomplete.
Yes, please contact your program.
Okay, and okay, yes. So I'm in environmental health sciences, so I need to contact them about it.
Yes.
Okay, okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, I have another question. This is Hasanatu, sorry.
Sure.
I'm in the GPS. I know that you told us if it's program things, we need to contact, but I am looking at the place where it says Doctor of Philosophy, and it says incomplete, and then it says time limitation. All degree requirements must be met within 7 years of matriculation. I started in 2019, so I'm not sure. Is that supposed to be incomplete, or should I also talk to the course director about that as well?
No, that is just a note. Unless you have some expired coursework that you may have taken prior to 2019, that would be the only thing. But yes, you would contact your program about that so that you all can review that.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Go ahead.
okay. So on the GPS, I'm good to go. I'm in green and blue. And then when I'm actually in the application to apply for degree, it's showing spring term 2023, but I'm in my final 2 courses. How quickly can that be resolved to swap it from the grad term of 2023 to fall 2022?
Fall 22 is open. Somebody said this last time and I don't know what may have happened, but when she went back in, she saw it. So I'm not sure why you may not see fall 22, but try again. But it is open until the 29th.
Okay, so basically just like when I went in, it's giving me it's basically showing me my undergrad from when I applied in 2016, a million years ago for undergrad. And then the only other option in this like drop down bar is the 2023. So when you say like, is there somewhere else I should be looking for
No. But I know for a fact it's open. Are you sure you clicked on the graduate application for degree / certificate as
Yes.
well? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and it shows my graduate program all correctly in here. Just for whatever reason, it's showing the wrong term, even though I'm in the last 2 courses and everything else is complete.
Yeah, I have it open until the 29th. So I'll look on my student side, but I haven't had any issues with that.
Okay. Who should I just email you directly, or who would I contact to resolve that?
It's me, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, fall, I just went on my student side because I'm also enrolled, and fall 22 is visible.
Okay. I'll just shoot you an email then. Thanks.
So question on that GPS. So all my courses are met, but it says incomplete, and the only thing that it says that's empty is the final steps. Is that normal? So it says I still need approval for the dissertation PDF, signed approval form, a survey, and then an and then a certificate approval.
Yes, so those, Danielle's going to talk about that in just a second, but anything that is plan 1, as far as writing a thesis or dissertation, those are the only things that should be incomplete if you're a plan 1 student. So with that, I mark those when I'm awarding the degrees, simply because students are completing those throughout the term. If you are plan 2, meaning that you are not writing a thesis or dissertation, your GPS should be clear. Now, if you do have a comprehensive exam or something of that sort in your GPS, that will be incomplete until your program lets me know that it has been completed.
Awesome, thank you. That makes sense.
Hey Jasmine, this is Callie Jowers. My GPS looks good except for like one elective that I guess was approved outside of the regular ones that are listed. So I just need to get with my program to get them to kind of mark everything as good to go, because I'm taking both of those classes this semester.
Yeah.
So everything should work out the way it's supposed to. I just need to get them to mark my GPS is ready to go.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
So once you contact them, they'll enter what we call an exception, and they'll move that course into that area.
Okay. Yeah, I see the exception on here, but it's not pulling it up into my actual Masters of Accounting pod. So
yes.
Okay.
Yes. They will fix that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jasmine, I'm sorry. I have a question about the semester. So it says semester hours required. You currently have 39, still need a minimum of 9 more semester hours. Is that including the 11 that I'm taking right now, or no? Or is that my advisor that I need to speak to?
Yes. So GPS does count in progress courses.
Okay.
So it's
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. Sorry. I'm not sure if this is going to be a question for you or Danielle, but I'm graduating with my master's, and I was filling out the form and I realized the committee information that is written on my BlazerNet is incorrect. It's not consistent with the form that my department has signed. So I don't know if this should do. My biggest question is, do I need to hold off on submitting the application until that information is corrected? And then my second question is, who do I talk to get it corrected?
Sure. So no, don't hold off on your applications until it's corrected. That can be corrected. But Danielle is just filling in right now, but Jesse Kepley is the interim plan 1 director. And he also serves as the director of our office. So he would be the person that you would need to email, and I can put his email address here in the chat. And I'll also place mine after his.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, so I'm Breeze first and foremost, but when I submitted my application, it says submitted and it says /first review. So do I need to do anything else, or is that fine?
You're good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So my question is, I will be applying for my PhD, but I also have a couple of certificates that I've completed coursework for. Are those going to be separate applications, or is it kind of all together?
So it'll be all together. When you first open up that application, you'll select all the curriculums that you're applying for on that application, and then it will separate it as far as on my end.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Shira, and I had a question about somebody else said something about I forgot what it was, but I'm getting a PhD and it says that my graduate final paper,
Yep.
It's that's outstanding, but I defended on Monday. So there was like an issue with my committee form as well for the approval. So is there somebody I need to like check with to make sure that everybody signed off and all that good stuff?
Yeah, Danielle will cover that in just a second, but I did put Jesse's email also in the chat. in
Okay,
case
so it's
you- I
Jesse.
know it's kind of hard to keep up with, but in case you have any other questions outside of that.
Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome. So the other thing I'm about to put in the chat will be the last, where the deadlines are posted. In case you're wanting to know, well, where is this information in case I need to refer back to it, as far as the application for degree deadline. So I'm posting is in two places. One, it is on the grad school's website. And then two, it is also on the university's academic calendar as far as August 29th being the deadline. So you can always go to those two links to know the deadline, not only for just the AFD or application for degree, but also your Plan 1 requirements that Danielle is going to speak on in just a second. So if there are no other questions for me, I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Maynard.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Before you leave, my name is Maria, and I received an email saying that my graduate school has been notified by your department that your application and degree has been approved. Do I need to do anything else?
No, ma'am. That's all.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
This is Sam Arroyo. I got a quick question. I'm on my BlazerNet, but I don't see that link that you were referring at the beginning. Now I went to the GPS dashboard, and I saw that everything is good to go. Only got 3 classes pending, which are the one that I'm taking right now. So what do I need to do?
So were you trying to locate the application? Is that where you're trying to locate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so go back to your BlazerNet homepage.
Okay, I'm in there.
Okay. Do you see links and forms right above your picture?
Okay.
And then you'll see graduate application for degree / certificate, sorry. On the right-hand side.
Apply for graduate degree certificate.
Yes, apply for graduate. There we go.
Okay.
That's the term.
And then I guess I select the term.
Yes. Do you see fall 22 up there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
And then I go through the steps in there, fill the form and submit the payment, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Got it. Thank you.
And I just put these steps also in the chat so that you all can refer back to that if you need to.
What is the deadline for that payment?
Your account needs to be cleared before the end of the term, because once I award degrees and submit our diploma order, if you have any sort of balance, your diploma will not be mailed to you. Instead, it'll be mailed to the graduate school. So please make sure that your account is clear before or by the end of the term.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Deja Stevens. I have one quick question. Okay, so I just went to the links and form and I applied and I received the email saying that that it was submitted. So I went back to check my account to see if the $60 had posted, but now it's not even showing like my fall term at all on the payments, which I know it was there because it's been paid already.
You'll have to contact One Stop about the monetary piece. I'm not sure of the turnaround of when it will post, but you can contact them and they'll get you in touch with student accounting to let you know for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Danielle.
Okay. Hey guys, I am Danielle Minyard over in the graduate school. I'm going to talk to you guys about Plan 1 requirements. The information that I'm going to tell you only applies to students that are writing a thesis or a dissertation. You are one of those students if you're one of those students. If you're not and this information doesn't seem applicable, it's probably because it's not. So I'm only talking to Plan 1 students. Nishira, I wanted to tell you that I reached out to Jesse and he's going to be emailing you shortly with the next steps for you. So you look like you're good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to cover the final phase of your Plan 1 student life cycle. So anyone who is going to defend this semester, anyone who thinks they're going to defend this semester, go ahead and put in your AFD. It's really important. If you think you're going to defend, if you need to change that to another semester later on, that's fine. But right now, if you think you're going to defend this semester, if you think you're going to be ready to graduate, go ahead and get your AFD in. That is a very strict deadline. We don't want to miss it. There are a couple of things. One thing you need to do before you actually defend is do your request for approval form. This request for approval form can be found on the Plan 1 webpage, which I'm going to put in the chat. And this request for approval form should be filled out at least 2 weeks before your public defense. That gives us the information to actually publish your public defense on the graduate school website. It also gives information to send your approval form out to your committee. Remember, if they don't get this approval form, they can't sign off and say you passed, and that's a big deal. So make sure you're filling out your request for approval form. Again, we ask for it 2 weeks before your defense. That way we have all that information. Once you get that turned in, you're going to receive a response that says, hey, thank you for your submission. Good look at your final defense. It's going to come with some information like the format manual, maybe some templates if you're still trying to figure out the outlining of your thesis or dissertation. Then we're moving on to your actual defense. So for master students, you have 2 requirements around your defense, your Plan 1 requirements. And this is your approval form, which will be sent out to your committee the day that you defend. They're going to sign off on that and get it back to us. We get those sent out. We try to say we'll get them sent out in the morning, but of course it could be by that afternoon. But either way, we're going to get that to your committee. They're going to sign off on it electronically. It's going to come back to us, and then we'll send it back out to you. The second thing is your submission to Proquest. You must submit to Proquest within 10 days of your public defense. Of course, the sooner the better, always, but you need to go ahead and submit to Proquest. Please keep in mind, whatever email you use when submitting to Proquest is the email you will receive any formatting revisions. You will always receive formatting revisions. We try to review your submission closely so that it looks nice when it's printed. And so keep an eye out for revisions, get those done ASAP. We always have students that are held up from getting their degree because they didn't complete their revisions. And that is it for master students. For students who are getting the PhD, you're going to have both of those, the approval form and your acceptance in Proquest. You're also going to have 2 surveys, which are your graduate exit survey. That one is also optional for masters. We encourage you to fill that out. And then the SED. Both of those surveys are going to be sent to you with your finalized approval form. Just go ahead and do those surveys as soon as you receive them. That's another thing that we have students held up every semester with because they didn't complete a survey. These are required. You don't want to have your degree pending for another few weeks because you didn't spend 5 minutes filling out a survey. So as soon as you receive that approval form, go ahead and flag it or go ahead and do it right then so you can get that done. Let's see. Proquest revisions, make sure you're keeping an eye out for your email. Those Proquest revisions need addressed and completed ASAP. Get it turned back in. Your Plan 1 requirements. Jasmine already covered this, but I just want to make sure you guys know. Your Plan 1 requirements will remain pending in your GPS until your degree is awarded. So we are touching base every time you complete something. We're telling you congratulations. We're checking it off behind the scenes. However, in your GPS, they will not be marked off until your degree is awarded. So if you know that you have a completed approval form, but it still says pending, just know that we got your approval form. And so whenever degrees are awarded, that's going to be checked off. Let's see. I think that's probably about it for Plan 1. I left the link in the chat And this link will take you to the Plan One website where all of this information is laid out in some of the bottom sections. So of course, if you have any questions, refer to that website, but you can also reach out to us at the graduate school. Does anybody have any dissertation or theses or defense questions right now?
I have a question for you. So it says the deadline to defend is November 11th.
Okay.
And I talked to David Schneider because I have some fun circumstances that I may have to do it after that date. So who do I have to have an actual meeting with and like have that in writing that if I need to defend after November 11th, it won't impair my degree?
Okay, well, there are we don't allow too many exceptions to the defense deadline. However, under certain circumstances, we understand that you might need a small extension. Of course, again, only extenuating circumstances. Go ahead and shoot me an email with that information. I'm going to put my email in the chat, and hopefully we can get that worked out for you. So just send that. Those are handled on a case-by-case basis and reviewed very closely. So go ahead and just send me that request.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I wanted
have
to
the same, I'm sorry.
real quick, Amanda Kramer, are we able to make changes to the title to our dissertation after application for degree? Okay, so your application for degree is a must. It must be turned in. Your title doesn't have to be complete until the day you submit your to Proquest, like your submission. So whenever you go to submit your AFD, it's going to give you an option to just put like none or NA. And just submit that, because whatever you submit on your AFD, that's what we're putting in the commencement book. So I would just not put anything if you're not 100% sure about your title. Other questions?
My question was kind of a lot like the previous one. Based off when my data will come in, I may not end up being able to defend right in November. So if I have to defend after then and it's in December, do I just have to do this whole process again with the next graduation, or what happens?
Yeah, so again, those are reviewed on case-by-case basis. There are very few exceptions, but of course we understand that getting an entire committee together, and if there's other things going on, medical, health-wise, just things like that, that may hold you up from defending right at that point. So we have provided very, very few exceptions in the past, but of course you can reach out and plead your case on a case-by-case basis. And as long as we can get that, settled within the graduate school, we will. So feel free, I put my email in the chat, just feel free to go ahead and send me that information.
Follow-up question. What is the timeline separation between your defense and actually submitting your dissertation for publication?
So you have 10 business days after your defense to submit. The 10 business days, that's for you to make any corrections, revisions that your committee wants done to your document. After that, you will submit it. We'll review it within 3 to 5 days and get you back any revisions. From there, it's just ASAP. Get those turned in as soon as possible, because for students who are defending closer to the diploma, closer to the graduation date, closer to the end of term, we're running on a very tight schedule of getting those submitted, revised, and reviewed.
Got it. Thank you.
I also had a question, because I've been talking with my PI, and just to get clarification on that. If we wanted to do like the split defense where we have a private before the public, in terms of what the deadline is to submit your thesis to your committee before that private defense, and what is the turnaround for them to get comments? Like, what's usually that scheduling?
So of course, private defenses are handled exclusively with the program and with your committee. Those typically, they ask for the document 2 weeks before your private defense. which is a good thing because it's for them to review your submission and make any comments, revisions, anything like that. They're able to get that feedback back to you prior to your public defense. So 2 weeks before your private defense, go ahead and get that to your committee.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Any other questions?
I have one more. I wasn't sure. I was trying to get clarification. You said that surveys would come with a completed approval form. I didn't get that.
You should have gotten a text with the link. No? Okay, I'll reach out to him. I'll get that text sent to you. But typically with typically with the approval form, you're gonna get a scripted text that just says, please complete these tasks. So are you master's or PhD?
PhD.
Okay, yeah. So you should have gotten those. I'll check into it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Any other questions?
Me again. I know you already talked a bit about GPS, so I understand that, you know, my approval and my defense and everything is going to be incomplete. What I am curious about is I actually finished my research for my thesis over the summer of 2022. So I completed all 6 hours. It is on my GPS as saying pass. And I'm looking at my GPS now, and I'm currently registered for 1 more hour this just to work and finish it up and defend, but it's saying that it's incomplete and I need 5 more credits. I'm only a master's student, so I should only need the 6 credits I've already completed, correct?
When it comes to GPS, that's more of a Jasmine question or your program question.
Sure, got it. No problem.
Yeah, so I would suggest, can you, for time's sake, because I know we're running a little bit behind, could you email either Jasmine or your program about those GPS hours?
Sounds good to me. Thank you
And
so much.
the good thing is, it's the beginning of the semester, so you got plenty of time to get that worked out for you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, if there's no more questions, feel free to email me, email Jessie Kepley, and also just check out the Plan 1 page.
Okay, everybody. So I'm going to very quickly talk about the actual commencement ceremony. There's not a lot to say yet, so this will literally take a couple minutes. But if you plan on actually participating in commencement, and I hope all of you do because it's super fun, it's Friday, December 9th at 6 p.m. at Bartow Arena. So doors will open at 5 o'clock. That's for all guests, students, faculty. Doors will open at 5 o'clock. And so Regalia, which I know is a very, very, very big question right now. The website is not available yet to order the Regalia. Hopefully that will be up soon. If you'd like to purchase custom Regalia, the deadline for that will probably be like the end of September. That takes a lot longer to actually get put together and get to you. So yeah, that deadline is much quicker. And then the rental Regalia, right now, tentatively, they're thinking October 21st for the deadline. Again, none of this has been nailed down just yet, but just so you kind of have it on your radar. And then the other really important thing you need to know is if you plan on actually participating in the commencement ceremony, you have to register to participate. This is a completely separate form from an application for degree. So you submit your application for degree that says, hey, I'm graduating this semester, yay. But then you submit a registration form that says you're actually coming to commencement ceremony. It's not a ticketed event. We'll ask you on that form. They just ask you how many people you plan on inviting. If you're a doctoral student, then you're putting your dissertation title there. You're including your chair's name there. So all the information I need to get everything ready for the ceremony. But it's 2 separate things. So please don't get confused about that. The registration deadline for the commencement form is usually a couple weeks prior to commencement. Again, we're going to have a lot more details in the next, in the coming weeks, and I'll be sending a ton more emails out with all of that information. But I just want to go ahead and give you all some general ideas so you can kind of keep that on your radar. Anybody have specific questions just about the commencement ceremony and kind of what to expect coming up to that?
Just to be clear, the registration to walk is not there yet.
No.
Okay, cool.
It is not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure when. I sent an email. I still haven't heard back to find out when the Regalia website will be open and also when the commencement registration form will be open, and I haven't heard back. But again, as soon as it is, you will get a ton of information. So it is very vital that you check your UAV email and you actually read. So if you see emails coming from me, from the grad school, like actually read them, because chances are there's going to be a lot of information that you're going to want to know and not miss. Any other questions?
Hi, so as doctoral candidates, will we be hooded by our PIs? So like we should be giving them the same information and everything, or is there like someone designated who's going to be hooding us?
Yes. So Dr. Martin, the new graduate school dean, and your mentor or your committee chair, whoever your PI is, whoever will be hooding you. So definitely let them know you're graduating if they don't already. I'm assuming they do, but if they don't, definitely let them know you're graduating and that you're planning on participating in the commencement ceremony. Once you actually fill out that registration form that says you're going to be participating, you're including that person's information as well. And I also send emails to faculty to kind of give them all the details as well. But I won't have that until you actually register to participate in the commencement ceremony. So if you think you're graduating, if you're a doctoral student and you need somebody to hood you, make sure your faculty member knows that so they can put it on their calendar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. Yes.
Could you repeat that date real quick? I just want to make sure I got it right.
It's December 9th, Friday, December 9th at 6 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anybody else? Okay. Well, so unless you are a nursing student, you are free to head out. If you are a nursing student, you probably want to stay so you can hear what Latasha has to say to y'all. And then you just pay attention to email. You'll be getting a lot more emails from me in the coming weeks. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all nursing students, good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations on your upcoming anticipated graduation for fall. You should have received an email on Monday with instructions on how to apply for nursing students. We do not utilize GPS system for, to finalize your graduation completion. That's something that is done internal in the School of Nursing. With that information, you could go and apply through BlazerNet under links and forms, under forms to submit your application. We do ask that once you submit your application that you not utilize preferred names. Utilize your legal name that you have on file with us. If it is different than what we have on file later on in the term, once fees are added to your account, you will receive name change information to have that updated. Also, you receive emails to once fees have been applied. Once fees are applied, you'll have an opportunity to apply for commencement. Most of our information is done pretty much the same as the graduate school. The dates are the same with the exception of GPS. We don't use GPS. And also with the exception of when you apply for your application for a degree, if you are also completing, if you're also completing a subspecialty, say for instance, a teaching certificate or something, you will have to submit a separate application for your non-degree teacher certificate. So you apply in two separate places under the links and forms tab. Also, I'm currently finishing up summer degree applications. So that process of having those fees show up for the fall term is a little bit slow. Again, the deadline is on the 29th. You should see that information or your application applied to your account sometime a week up to 2 weeks after that, hopefully sooner than that. Currently, I am completing summer application for degrees, so that is a little longer process. Anything else? Pretty much everything what was covered with the graduate school is the same with the School of Nursing. I've already listed the differences. And there also isn't a fee for our non-degree certificate holder. So if you are applying to the non-degree application, there is not a fee for that. So you don't have to look for that fee. The graduate school do have a fee for their certificate application. So hopefully you don't mix the two up. And if you have any questions, I will also include our email address. Please feel free to email us. at sonregistrar@uab.edu. A lot of times our students will reach out to the graduate school first and they'll have to reach out to us, and we could definitely save a step and try to help you with anything that you have or any questions you may have with your application for a degree from the School of Nursing. That pretty much sums up anything. I won't hold up your afternoon. If there are any questions that you may have for me, please feel free to ask. Again, you will get an email from me to have you verify your fees and different things once the fees are applied to the account. And then you'll get another email from me to verify the information that was submitted on your application for a degree, so that we can ensure that that information will apply towards your degree at the end of the term, as well as the commencement brochure, to make sure everything is listed correctly. That's all that I have. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to let me know.
I have a quick question. My computer glitched when you were talking about the forms. Just to clarify, did you say that for MSN students that we would click links and forms and only apply for application for degree, MSN or DNP?
Yes, that's what you would click on to fill out your application for a degree.
Okay. Okay. And that's the only form. Is that correct?
Yes, that's it. If you can't access that through your BlazerNet, please feel free to send us an email, and we do have other ways that we can make sure you get your application submitted.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all right. Well, again, thank you all for taking time out of your day to participate in the Q&A session. If you do have any questions or any errors or anything arise with some discrepancies on what you may have submitted, please, again, email us at sonregistrar@uab.edu. We'll be glad to help you. And that's it for me. Thank you, Kim. Is there anything else you want to add or say? Okay, all right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and it was a pleasure talking with you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations, everyone.